Hello everyone, this is Tina with Tia's Treasures, and today I have for you day 21 of the Spellbinders Crafty Advent Calendar. 21 over here. Let's see, move that over so we can make sure you can see it. And we have, looks like a square die of some sort. Let's see what this is. I see some florals. We've got a square. Okay, that is a flower. It looks like you build up this little square with these. So let's go ahead and make something. Okay, I was like, what to do with this die set? I cut out tiles and a bunch of these, and I put these together. The small little flowers you glue on top of the spaces on here. Now, after looking at it more close, it's like, oh, these are leaves. I guess I could have done that in green and really had it. Well, I don't know that it would have been more realistic, but would have maybe made more sense. But I kind of like the way the pink, all the pink looks. And so I brought in some blue cardstock here. And here are all my little things I put together. I have a little hello die from Pink and Maine. And, you know, the thing is, these aren't exactly conducive for like tiling them all on a 3x5 or a A2 card. You're going to have to cut off some because, you know, I originally thought, well, we could like do some sort of tile pattern with these, but they don't all quite fit. We would have to do a bigger card, which, I mean, we could do 5x7, but most people do A2s, which, you know, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And so then I started messing around with these tiles. A lot of just paper scraps here. Those little white specks are off of my old die plates. They're getting to be needing to be replaced. Anyhow, so I'm thinking, what kind of pattern can we do with this? And, you know, I'm like, well, we could do something with like 5 of these. And if you put one in the middle, really, I don't like the way it looks to move one down or up too much with this. I mean, we could just get a bigger die and do it that way right in the middle, but I wanted to use as many of these as possible, and I mean, that's okay. Or, you know, we could put it to the side even, but none of those are really striking my fancy. I did try cutting one in half and seeing how that would look with it in the middle there. And I mean, I don't hate it. So I'm not, I mean, I wish there was some way. I wonder if we cut one of these in half and put that in the middle instead. Anyhow, if we were to do something like that there, how would that look? Then we would probably need the hello in the lighter card color too. Nah, don't like that one either. What if we just went like this instead? And you cut in half your 6th one. So now what are you going to do? Now you're like in trouble. Well, let's see what it looks like, even though we can always make one more. And I had extra florals and stuff, and I put them away. And yeah, that probably would have been the best way to go. Well, now I got to make another tile. Okay, we're going to do that then. We will make one more of these. Do I really want to do that though? Kind of like, I put a lot of work in all these. What are you going to do? Okay, considering that I just cut all this, I might as well show you how to put it together. And we're gonna do that. Magic of editing. Isn't it great? Well, I'm not gonna need this one. Put that, come on, my wax. Do you not want to stick? Probably not that big thing. Right there. Only need one little glue dot because these aren't going anywhere. Okay, I'm a liar. Well, they're really not once they dry. I guess the trick would be waiting for them to dry, which I don't have the patience for. So, has everybody got everything wrapped up? I haven't even started, and I usually have a bunch of stuff under the tree by now. I've got all my shopping done except for a few stocking stuffers I've got to run out and get. But, you know, the big stuff I'm done with. And it seems like every year it's getting less joyful to do all this shopping because I don't know what anybody needs anymore or wants. And it seems like we all have everything we actually want. And pretty much have everything we need at this point too. These little ones are a pain to flip, but if you don't flip them, I can tell the difference on one side versus the other side. And now look, they don't want to flip for me. Come on, you. On the fingernails, fine. We'll take it off of there. We don't care. And look, it just fell. Oh, I got lucky there because it flipped over again. Come on. Flip over. Do it on the nice die side. There we go. And again, it flipped. Come on, you. Work with me here. And this is why I've got the two. Sometimes that little one just doesn't want to work. It's being stubborn. And I think my glue was almost dry. No, it worked. Okay, so we got that. And we are gonna just do this. How's that sound? I'll throw this abomination away. We don't need these. I did think at first I was gonna do that, but my pinks aren't different enough. I mean, it doesn't look bad. I just think it looks better without them. Would have saved me some work now. Now I have to like glue all these the hard way. We'll get these glued. I suppose I could glue the blue to the cardstock right now, but we'll do that last. And this doesn't have to be perfect. We might as well get one there just because. And let's see. I'm not real good at using these tweezers. And do we want a little bit of a border? Yeah, we do. Why not? Do just a bit of one on this side. And I might as well hold this because we saw how well I do with those tweezers. Anyhow, I was talking about my stocking stuffers and stuff. You know, all my kids are, they're with their significant others now, their spouses and whatnot. And so it's not like they're little kids, but for whatever reason, I still have to do socks for them. And if we have any guests coming over, like my kids' friends, usually they have a friend that lives with them that'll come by for dinner. So I give her a sock as well, because everybody should at least have something, you know, on Christmas. And I'm sure she gets stuff from her family, but I don't like her coming here and everybody's opening stuff and then she's just sitting there, and, you know, she's fine with it, but I still feel like she needs something. She's my guest, and so I'm going to make sure she gets something. So I do you know, a sack for her, and pretty much the girls all kind of get the same thing, and the guys get the same thing in their socks. The husband will get a few different things, but that's just how it's always been. And when the kids were little, because I knew how impatient they were waiting for us to get up, they were always told, you know, they could go into their stockings and look in those before we get up, and give them something to do and make them feel like they weren't as impatient for us to get up. I mean, they still were, but it was just something to tide them over. And so now kind of the tradition continues with them. Every once in a while, my daughter might actually spend the night. She lives about an hour, 15 minutes away, and she likes to be here first thing in the morning. And if she does spend the night, she'll still get her sock before we get up, because chances are she will get up before us. And even if she doesn't get up before us, it gives her something to do while we're drinking our coffee, because now as adults, we don't feel the need to have to open everything as soon as we open our eyes. And I don't know, I've been toying with the idea of opening stuff on Christmas Eve instead of Christmas morning, but it just feels like that would, you know, Christmas Day itself would feel lacking if I did that. What are your traditions? What do you think? I mean, if my kids were all coming Christmas Eve, we would open Christmas Eve. If they had someplace else to be on Christmas Day, I think my husband and myself might still save most of ours for Christmas morning. But so far, my kids' tradition is they go to the in-laws on Christmas Eve. So, you know, that gives me Christmas Day. But I'd be fine whatever way they wanted to celebrate it. I'm not one of those that this is the way we've always done it, and so you've got to be here on Christmas morning, or I'm not going to be happy. My mother-in-law, God rest her soul, she'd get so upset if we didn't come over Christmas Day. I remember being sick as a dog and still having to go over there because she'd be mad if we didn't. I mean, she could have had my husband go there by himself, but, you know, I don't know. I don't really remember why we didn't do it that way. Probably my fault. Blaming her, and it was probably me who didn't want to stay home by myself. So I don't know. But I do remember when I was able to have Christmas as my day. Excuse me. I was happy to have all the kids and everything. But like I said, I wouldn't make them come over. I just want to see them during the holiday, regardless of Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. And luckily, all of them are off on Christmas Day. My husband spent years working swing shift, where until he got seniority, he used to work on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve if he was scheduled. And, you know, it had to try to open gifts and do everything around that, especially was he like leaving at 5 in the morning, and the kids would get up way early to open. Or if he was on midnights, they'd have to wait until he came home, which would be 6 in the morning to open, which wasn't too bad. So he'd get home, they'd open, and then he'd go right to bed. but it's nice having him home now. And it's nice that none of the kids are working jobs where they have to work on Christmas. But we've all been there. And it is not a fun thing to do. I almost forgot to say hi. You know, you can't waste our cardstock like this without saying hi. So, come on now. Am I going to have to pull that up and reposition it just a little bit? Why is it I watch some of these card makers and they like, boom, they place it and it's perfect. Me, I'm constantly pulling up and moving it. Or you've seen, if you watched a lot of my videos, you see I use maybe the Misty or my little Score Buddy to line my cards up. Because I am not really good at getting them straight. Especially not on the first try. So, here is the card I made for you with Spellbinders Day, I believe it's 21. So, that's it for now, everyone. And bye-bye.